I would like to talk about the Fox Hunt multiplayer mode coming to Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. I always get questions from my audience about what I think about this mode, so I've decided to make a video about it. Now, before I dive in, I am not a hardcore Metal Gear Online veteran. I never played Metal Gear Online 1. However, I spent some good years on Metal Gear Online 2 back in 2008 through 2011. And when Metal Gear Online 3 came out with the Phantom Pain, well, let's just say I deleted it faster than a Metal Gear Solid 4 speedrun. It was garbage. That being said, I have played plenty of multiplayer shooters like Destiny, Call of Duty, and recently Battlefield 6, so I've got some perspective when it comes to PvP design. So, let's break this down. On June 6, 2025, during Sony's State of Play, we got a new trailer for Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. At the end, we caught a tease of a multiplayer online mode. Fans instantly thought Metal Gear Online was coming back. But a week later, on June 12th, during Konami's press start presentation, it was revealed that the multiplayer tease wasn't the full Metal Gear Online experience we thought we will get. It was just one mode, called Fox Hunt. So, what is Fox Hunt? Fox Hunt is a stealth-based multiplayer mode built around camouflage, survival, and hunting players down. Think of it like a mix between the old sneaking mode from MGO and the prop hunt mode that have been gaining popularity in several other multiplayer games like Call of Duty or Counter-Strike. One side hides using camouflage, disguises, boxes, and movement tricks, while the other hunts them down. Konami described it as a spiritual successor to MGO's sneaking mode, but repackaged into a modern hide-and-seek style experience. It is not a full-fledged Metal Gear Online experience, but it is their attempt to bring multiplayer stealth back into the series. And here's where things become messy. First, Fox Hunt isn't launching with the game on August 28, 2025. Instead, it will launch in fall 2025. Second, there's no crossplay. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X/S, and PC players are locked to their own platforms. And third, it is just one mode, not a full Metal Gear Online revival, not a suite of multiplayer options, just Fox Hunt. And this is where the disappointment kicks in. However, it is understandable. Now, I understand why the fans are upset, but here's my hot take. I actually believe Fox Hunt is the smartest and the safest choice Konami could make as of right now. Why? Because Konami knows their limits. They know that they cannot bite off more than they can chew. Allow me to explain. Let me ask this question. When was the last time we had a proper Metal Gear Online? Or, a better question, when was the last time Konami of Japan ever released an online PvP shooter? You're probably going to say Metal Gear Online 3, which launched in 2015, alongside the Phantom Pain. But it wasn't even made in Japan. It was built by Kojima Productions Los Angeles, not Konami Japan. That studio got shut down later that year, exactly 1 month after the release of Metal Gear Online 3. The closest Konami of Japan came to an online PvP shooter was Peace Walker's Co-op and Versus Ops back in 2010. And even that was bare bones compared to what Metal Gear Online 2 had. So really, it's been over a decade since Konami themselves delivered a serious PvP experience. And let's be honest, Metal Gear Online 3 didn't exactly set the world on fire. Thanks to the closure of the studio Kojima Productions LA, the support for Metal Gear Online 3 has been very minimal. So much to the point that the unofficial Metal Gear Online 2 servers are still way more active than the official Metal Gear Online 3 ever was. That's a very dead game to me. What I'm trying to say here is, I don't think Konami have the talent, the expertise, or the infrastructure anymore to launch a massive, fully fledged Metal Gear Online experience. And they know that too well. That's why they are starting from scratch. They don't have the Kojima Productions Los Angeles team anymore. They don't have years of live service multiplayer experience like Bungie, Blizzard, or Activision. And building a full Metal Gear Online from scratch without any proper experience would be a guaranteed disaster. Instead, they are testing the waters with one mode, one simple focused PvP experience. That's all they can handle right now. And the fact that Fox Hunt doesn't support crossplay proves it. It shows their text and resources are limited. Crossplay is a basic expectation in 2025, and Konami couldn't deliver. That's not laziness, that's lack of infrastructure. And let's be honest, when Fox Hunt drops, you can probably expect server hiccups, netcode problems, maybe even cheaters and hackers. But that's part of the learning curve, because I don't think Fox Hunt is the end game here. which makes me believe that Fox Hunt is an experiment, a low-risk test to gather data. How stable are their servers? How does their matchmaking hold up? How do they handle weapon balance, stealth mechanics, and anti-cheat? Stuff that Konami have a very low grasp on. And once they got that experience, it could lay the foundation for something bigger. Maybe even Metal Gear Online 4. And that's what I think Konami's ultimate goal here. The Metal Gear series has a very rich legacy. Imagine what can be done with such a legacy. A standalone Metal Gear Online game where you can play as characters from across the series. Snake, Raiden, Ocelot, Grey Fox, Quiet, each with unique abilities. With maps pulled straight from the franchise like Shadow Moses, The Tanker, Arsenal Gear, Grozny Grad. Maybe even a hero shooter spin like Overwatch or Marvel Rivals. But with Metal Gear's DNA, stealth, gadget, and CQC baked into every match. Fox Hunt could be the first step toward that future. However, let's not ignore the business side here. Konami hasn't been known for big AAA output lately. They shifted to mobile, pachinko, and re-releases. With Delta, they are dipping their toes back into the premium console gaming. Fox Hunt fits perfectly into that strategy. It is a low investment, but if it takes off, it would give them valuable data on player retention, monetization opportunities, and whether there is still an appetite for a multiplayer Metal Gear. It is not about delivering the ultimate experience today, it is about positioning themselves for the future. In conclusion, Fox Hunt isn't the big return fans wanted. It is not Metal Gear Online Reborn. It is one experimental mode, delayed with no crossplay. Disappointing? Definitely. But it might also be the most realistic, smartest choice Konami could make right now. A baby step, a proof of concept, a way to relearn how to build multiplayer in 2025. If it works, we could see the return of a full Metal Gear Online. If it fails, well, it will join the long list of Konami missteps, and maybe they will learn from it. So what do you think? Is Fox Hunt a waste of time, or the first step towards something bigger? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.